doctor set to plead guilty in Matthew Perry's tragic ketamine death. Faces up to 40 years. In a devastating chapter that continues to haunt Hollywood, new developments have emerged in the untimely death of beloved friends, actor Matthew Perry. A California-based physician, Dr. Salvador Plasencia, has officially agreed to plead guilty in connection to Perry's fatal overdose, admitting he illegally supplied the powerful anesthetic ketamine to the star, a substance that ultimately played a central role in Perry's tragic demise. Under a plea agreement that sent shockwaves through the entertainment and medical communities, Dr. Plasencia is set to admit to 4 counts of distributing ketamine without proper authorization or medical necessity. The deal, which comes after months of legal proceedings and public speculation, outlines that Plasencia could face a maximum prison sentence of 40 years. In addition, he's looking at 3 years of supervised release and a staggering $2 million fine. While the final sentencing will be up to the court, the implications of this guilty plea are nothing short of seismic. The plea is expected to be formally entered in court in the coming weeks, marking a pivotal moment in the ongoing investigation into Perry's death, a tragedy that has left fans, colleagues, and friends reeling. The doctor, the star, and the drug doctor, Salvador Plasencia, was indicted last year on multiple federal charges, including conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance and falsification of medical records. Now, with the agreement in place, the disgraced physician becomes one of the most high-profile medical professionals to face criminal consequences in a celebrity overdose case, a stark reminder of the dark underbelly of Hollywood's health and wellness culture. Among those also charged in the scheme were 3 others, including Matthew Perry's own personal assistant, who lived with him at the time. All 3 co-conspirators have since pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute ketamine. Another figure central to the case, a woman prosecutors have dubbed the infamous Ketamine Queen, was notably excluded from the plea deal and remains under legal scrutiny. Her moniker, which sounds pulled from a dystopian drama, underscores the almost surreal nature of this real-life tragedy. Perry's desperate fight against his demons. Matthew Perry, who died on October 28, 2023, at the age of 54, had long been open about his harrowing battle with addiction and mental illness. The actor had become a beacon of hope for many, using his platform to raise awareness about sobriety and the power of second chances. At the time of his death, Perry was undergoing ketamine infusion therapy, a treatment that has gained traction as a last resort solution for those suffering from chronic depression and anxiety. But this treatment, considered experimental and controversial, came with immense risk, especially when not properly supervised. And in Perry's case, federal prosecutors argue that those risks were dangerously ignored. According to the indictment, Perry had begun obtaining unsupervised doses of ketamine from Plasencia and his co-conspirators. Rather than the tightly monitored clinical setting ketamine therapy requires, the actor allegedly received multiple doses each day, far beyond the recommended guidelines. The result, prosecutors say, was a downward spiral into what they described as an out-of-control addiction that ultimately claimed his life. When Perry was discovered unresponsive in his hot tub at his Los Angeles home, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office reported that the levels of ketamine in his system were consistent with the amount typically used to render someone unconscious for surgery. Simply put, he had enough of the drug in his body to knock someone out for an operation, not treat mental health. The $55,000 tragedy. The financial aspect of this case is as shocking as the medical malpractice itself. Prosecutors revealed that Perry paid a jaw-dropping $55,000 during the roughly 1-month period in which he was receiving ketamine from Plasencia and others. For that price, he was reportedly administered 6 to 8 injections per day, an absurd and deeply concerning dosage. The texts included in the court filings paint an even darker portrait of greed and callous disregard for human life. In one message, Plasencia and another doctor involved in the case, Dr. Mark Chavez, who has already pleaded guilty, are seen discussing how much to charge the A-list actor. "I wonder how much this moron will pay," one of the messages reads. "Let's find out." It's a moment of chilling callousness, an insight into a world where Perry's fame, wealth, and vulnerability were all exploited with shocking ease. To those close to Perry, and to millions of fans around the globe, this exchange reads like the final betrayal in a long line of heartbreaks that plagued the actor's life.